Can I tell you something? Do not pass this around because I've got enough problems going on. I am a member of a lineage within the Illuminati. We are sheltered for years and conditioned for certain positions and responsibilities. My position is within a kinetic project called Psycorp, and shielded as a subsidiary sister company of biotech industry. The project has basically taken those that are Rh-negative strain blood types and tested with a series of kinetic tests to determine whether or not we are true descendants of the ones you call Nephilim. In the archives of their database they have numerous copies of journals and ancestral history related to thousands of our descendants' parchments and personal diary entries detailing experiences and knowledge pertaining to the kinetic phenomena that is a key factor to our bloodline. And the origins of this bloodline are out of this world. Literally. There is notations of impressions taken from the walls of temples that predate man's ability to construct such monuments by 150,000 years. The impressions tell of the origins of mankind coming from some sort of genetically augmented clone technology that they used as maintenance workers on their ships, and that they used that process to mold man's genetic code embedded with their own DNA structure. We were supposed to be a project to save their race from extinction, but en route to our world the original crew died and the autopilot system of the ship took command in their absence and continued the protocol set within its systems to complete the mission. In such an event the ship's automated system made duplicates copies of the crew's genetic code that it had on file and integrated it into the human genetic structure of 7 individuals in order to preserve the genetic code of the crew so that a rescue team could gain access to the ship's command console when the rescue detachment was sent. This is the core reason as to why the Illuminati has guarded the bloodline of the elite members for so long, because the ones you refer to as the 7 fallen angels were the bloodline of the 7 crew members assigned to that ship that seeded life on this world, as well as being one of the oldest organizations to have lasted much longer than people realize. Nikola Tesla funded an archaeology dig that discovered one of these temples. The technology he found there he used with methods of reverse engineering and developed the technology he had that made him so famous. But that's not the problem. That is the reason I'm telling you all this. Within those records I found traces of a race of beings that go back beyond this universe's formation. They are the transcended ones, the ancients, the great sleeping ones as they have been called. They are the architects of entire galaxies. They build solar systems that are designed to generate massive amounts of energy through interplanetary gravitational wave transference and store that energy for when the stars begin to die and the universe reverts back into the singularity. This stored energy is used to power their ship's systems in a time when there are no stars to generate energy, and when the last of this universe dies they travel through the singularity through a wormhole into a pocket microverse and into the next universe after its Big Bang event that redistributes the particle mass and everything begins again. A horrifying truth I've found is that this system and its 36,000-year cycle that ushers in a cosmic alignment was created and designed by this species as a giant Dyson sphere that is collected from the interstellar object called Tabby's star that processes all the siphoned energy into the one energy source they store and collect. Meaning that all of this evidence we have of extraterrestrial life but have been unable to find any evidence of them has been produced by their censorship. The unseen hand that holds us back from discovering the truth of any of this is withheld by these stellar architects that have been using us since the dawn of time. This has caused me to question, why then are we here? What is our purpose in all this, and what purpose do we serve in this megastellar generator? That is when I discovered something. That though they may be the architects of entire systems, they specifically did not design our world. Our world was designed in secret by their predecessors, and that their race among their people were considered to be outlaws, a rebel faction of their society that had revolted against the system before their original home world destruction. That system of order on their world had designed in secret a terraforming project to save their species from extinction, and our world is that project. So they may be the designers of this Dyson sphere power station that they have designed to siphon power from us and the worlds around us, but their technology is still operating under the guidelines of their predecessors' designs, which is why they remain the deceptive reptilian hybrids that they are lurking in the shadows. I am beginning to understand why our progenitors had such a disliking for them. Despite many attempts to find a path of peace between our species, they still insist on manipulation and control in order to destroy our species based on the fact that we are a byproduct of their ancestors who they despise. If you'll notice, this conflict sounds quite similar to an old religious conflict between good and evil. There is correlating evidence that supports this claim found within the Lemurian rumors of an Atlantean civilization that colonized this world long ago. The Merkabahs, or more modern term for their species would be the Greys. They are our genetic cousins because they are developed by the same technique of the cloning process that we were originally designed from. They were, however, designed in a time of war between our progenitors and these transcended ones species. The Lemurians had cloned themselves so many times over that the original species' genetic code had been diluted from their genetic structure, so they came here once they had decided to stop fighting among each other and built a unified society here some 1.5 million years ago. However, I have examined the stellar systems that were marked as the reptilian home world. Its location is found within the Orion Nebula, and their home star is well known to us. Found in the Betelgeuse system, it is one of the planets rotating around the red giant star. Their world became tidally locked with the star when it went into its red giant phase and exterminated most of the life that was on it, leaving only a few scattered survivors in subterranean facilities. Unless they managed to relocate and colonize to another planet, what is left of them would only be a handful of survivors, considering how long it's been since that star went into its red giant phase.